You're listening to the Workbench After Hours podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to the Second Amendment, where we talk about firearms, everything that's going on in the gun community, and we even try a different whiskey every week. In this week's episode, we're going to talk about buying a concealed carry handgun and trying to choose which one is best for you, and some things you need to consider that you might not have thought about before, and trying to find which one is right for you. While we talk about all that, we're going to try Proclamation Irish Blended Whiskey as a whiskey of the week. Welcome to episode 79 of the Workbench After Hours podcast. Chris, what are we trying this week?
Looks like we're trying Proclamation Blended Irish Whiskey, Ireland's independent spirit. But it says that it honors both the history and the people behind the birth of the proclamation and the pivotal role that played in turning of the 20th century, coupled with their enduring acceptance of the 21st. Handcrafted and matured to perfection in extremely selected cask. For complexity and richness, this blended Irish whiskey holds superior taste and outstanding quality and distinctive character. A century in the making and a minute worth savoring. So on here, it's 81.4 proof. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, I haven't seen this before, so I saw it and grabbed it. It was only $20, so Irish whiskey. We've liked it so far, most of the ones that we've had on here.
Yeah, it says it's in bourbon cask and blended with a touch of sherry finished malt to give a rounded toasted finish.
Yep. But first, it's triple distilled and aged in new American oak barrels. Give it that little bit of a whiskey taste that we're used to.
That's a good taste.
I know. So I'm trying to me, I guess you get kind of like some fruitiness up front. Right?
Yeah, you do.
So
it's real fruity and like flowery almost.
Yeah, it's a very light, obviously light in color, light in the flavors I'm getting on the nose, but it's supposed to get Williams pear followed by an abundance of apricot, creme brulee notes, and slowly developing through rich custard, brewed cappuccino, and ending with woody notes.
I don't get all the other stuff.
Yeah,
I'm getting a little bit of the fruits. That's all I really smell.
I'm not getting any cappuccino.
No, I'm getting that, and then I smell just the alcohol.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're supposed to get front load notes of toasted brioche, freshly baked pastry, and overtones of yellow fruits. The mid palate with a robust yet rounded finish.
It's different.
It is.
It reminds me of almost like a scotch on the back end.
It drinks like it looks. Yeah. Light in color, so the notes are lighter. The tasting, what you're getting is lighter. It's not like what we've had in the past.
Yeah, where it's overwhelming.
Yeah, where you get a snowball of flavor there. Definitely a lot of fruitiness going on, I think, but not too overwhelming to where it's like too sweet or anything.
It's just
but it is sweet.
It is real sweet on the front end. On the back end's where you kind of get a little bit of the whiskey, but it's more of. It reminds me more of a scotch. On the back end,
a little bit.
You get more of like a malty.
I guess if I sit there and think about it and really think about these tasting notes, I think I can taste some of the baked pastries in there. Kind of that sweetness that you get, like. Yeah. You know, if you ever had like Italian pastries, I think something like that is what you're kind of getting, along with just loads of fruit.
Yeah, but it finishes like a scotch to me.
So the after note is supposed to be overwhelmingly smooth and creamy with a mellow finish with hints of toasted cereal.
I'm not getting cereal.
I can't say I'm getting that.
No,
I could go as far as saying the baked pastry.
I would say it's pretty smooth and it is really mellow. But like you're not getting that spice that we're used to.
No, you're not.
Like at all.
And usually, I mean, you really don't get those with the Irish whiskeys too much. But I mean, I think it's good.
It's not bad. It's different.
Yeah.
It's totally different than what we're usually drinking.
Different than like Jameson Black Barrel.
Oh, definitely.
Got a different flavor. It's been a while since we've had regular Jameson, but I still think this is sweeter.
Yeah, this is a lot sweeter.
But so if you want to branch out and you do like Irish whiskeys, we like them, have nothing bad to say about any of them yet, really. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Easy drinker.
It's different for sure, like what we're used to. but not bad. I wonder what it will do on the rocks, though.
I think it's going to get really sweet.
Either sweet or it's going to just drop out. You're not going to have anything.
Yeah. Yeah, because
there ain't a lot of like spice to get rid of.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot going on. There's no burn or anything like that we typically see with some of the other whiskeys. So I don't know.
We'll let it sit on there for a little bit.
Yeah, see what it does. But it's been a really common thing where it just kind of sweetens everything up.
Yeah. It's either gets it really sweet or it takes away all the spice.
Right.
It's crazy how that works.
All right. So, if you've heard by the intro, we are going to talk about getting a concealed carry gun.
Ooh.
There's a lot of things to think about that you may not realize or until you buy it and then start carrying and are like,
Yep.
Some things this can talk about. So basically we're going to go into this as you have a general idea of guns and you kind of know what a revolver is, what a semi-auto is. So we're going into this that you kind of already know the guns you are
have or know.
Yeah. You may have some, you may not, but you're ready to buy a concealed carry gun.
Yeah.
So some things to think about. And stuff like that. But Chris, what do you have? Do you have a concealed carry gun?
I've got two, depending on the season, usually. Okay. So in the summer, I usually use my little Ruger LCP Custom because it's really small and I got a little phone case, so it's really easy to look like a phone.
Right.
And then I got the Glock 19. So that's usually my winter, but I always have the Glock 19 with me, though.
Okay.
I've been slowly carrying that more in the summer, trying to get used to it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I have one for each season, really. My summer carry, just because, you have less clothes on to hide it. I have a Glock 43 currently, which I want to change out to the Springfield Hellcat.
Yeah.
I just got to
make the jump.
Yeah, I just got to buy it. But then I also have, and what has been my main concealed carry is a Glock 26. So not only do I carry it on my person in the wintertime, but any road trips I go on, I'd take that with me. That gun goes with me everywhere because I also have a Maxpedition pouch that I keep it in when it's not on me. So stick it in there with an extra mag, and because it is a Glock 26, I have an extra Glock 19 mag for it. So I got another extra mag that has more rounds in it, just in case. And if I ever travel anywhere, that goes in my backpack with me. Glove box, wherever. So
that's the Glock 19 for me. That goes with me anywhere, especially on road trips.
Yep. And I honestly shoot the Glock 26 way better than I do the 43, just because it's thicker and
the smaller guns. The smaller guns. That was my first takeaway. Mm-hmm. And then the first time I shot it, I was like, why would I want to carry this?
Right.
So
the first thing anybody thinks about is I want to get the smallest gun possible.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this. That is not recommended at all.
Yeah.
And I've even learned the hard way buying a really small gun, and it's a good idea and thought that yes, it is easy to conceal.
Yes.
But then shooting it well,
that's where it comes in.
Yes, that becomes an issue because there's a lot less area for you to hold. They're going to be super snappy no matter what caliber you have really at that point. And just in a non-stress scenario, shooting at a range, normal conditions, even me, like with your LCP and some of the really small, what they would consider a pocket gun, I have a hard time hitting it on target.
Yeah, like first time I fired that LCP, I was like, well, it sucked because I could only get 2 fingers on it, and I like having the third finger for that extra stability.
Yep.
So I went and bought an extended magazine just so I can get a little bit of my pinky on there to get more of that grip.
Yeah, and that's what I have on my Glock 43 is I got the pinky extension just to get a little more surface area because that gives you more control.
Yep.
So the less, if you got the one that doesn't even come, you can't even put 2 fingers on, it's going to be harder to control that snappiness. And usually you're going to shoot low left or whatever. So that's, if you're okay with that, whatever, just make sure you're going to be shooting somebody up like this close. And that's fine, but you own that bullet once it leaves your gun. So if you are pointing at the bad guy, but you shoot low left or whatever and hit something else that wasn't intended to be hit, that's on you.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that you find a gun that fits you well, conceal carry, but then also you shoot well and can control.
Yeah.
And that's where I highly recommend going to a gun range that you can rent guns and try a bunch of different ones.
Yeah.
You may say, hey, I want the SIG P365,
Yep.
or I'm dead set on a Glock 43, whatever. Try both of those, see how you like them. And then also try like the Smith & Wessons and the Springfields. You never know. You may feel good in your hand, but then actually shooting it.
Totally different.
Yes. And depending on a single stack versus a double stack,
Yep.
you may notice you shoot the double stacks better. Yes, it's going to be a little harder to conceal, but I'd rather deal with that than having a smaller gun that I'm not going to shoot well and can't.
Well, that or be confident.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing is being confident with that gun. So I know the Ruger, I had to go shoot it a lot to kind of get comfortable with it. But
Yeah. Don't just buy your concealed carry gun and then never shoot it. You want to shoot it quite frequently, like at least minimum once a year, I would say. And then not only just shoot the target rounds through there, the full metal jackets, but also try different hollow points or whatever your self-defense ammo is going to be.
Yeah.
And make sure that gun likes that ammo.
yeah, because a lot of especially the 380s, I found out the 380s are real picky about what ammo you use and brands. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and that's, you got to think about the caliber too. 380 sounds like a good idea because it's smaller, lighter, but a lot of guns are finicky on the type of ammo.
Yep.
So you want to almost get a gun that is going to be the AK of your concealed carry. You want a gun that's going to work.
Yeah, all the time.
If it's sacrificing to like even a 9mm, but you know it's going to run every time no matter what, I'd rather go that route.
Yep.
You're going to have more stopping power with a 9mm than you are with that 380 anyway. And probably the gun's going to be slightly bigger and you're going to have more rounds.
Yeah, I actually saw a crazy video this last weekend. I don't know if I sent it to you. This guy took a 45, like 1911, to a car door, shot it. It didn't penetrate all the way through the door, but then he took a 9mm, same distance, shot it, and it penetrated through the whole door. I was just like, man, that's crazy, and that's awesome to know.
Yeah, it is. I prefer the 45 because of that.
Yeah.
Because I don't want that to go through.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a 9mm, generally my concealed carry, but for home defense, that's why I have the 45.
Yeah.
Because I don't want it going through a bunch of walls and stuff like that. I want that big bullet that's going a little bit slower.
Yeah.
To stop.
Not keep traveling.
Yes. And it all depends on your situation.
Yep.
And there's a lot to think about.
Yeah, especially if you're going to conceal carry, because then you got to figure out, okay, do I want to appendix carry? Do I want to side carry? And how you want to conceal carry it? Or do you just want to put it in your hoodie and walk around?
Yep. Think about how you're going to carry it on your person and then clothes.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing people don't think about. So however you normally dress, you want to kind of think about how you can conceal a gun with how you dress, or maybe change some things up, maybe wear, a little bit baggier shirts or like a coat or like a button up over like a t-shirt or something to help conceal carry. Because if the bigger gun that you get, which you're going to be more proficient at, it's going to print more, especially if you're somebody that likes to wear tight clothing, especially in the summertime, or you're a woman that wears really tight clothes, you're going to have to kind of work with that as far as, or at least think about that when you're carrying, because tight clothes, you're going to print more depending on how you carry it.
Yep.
So I know Eclipse Holsters has some really good stuff,
Yeah.
Especially for appendix carry, and like for women or anybody really that doesn't wear a belt, they have a certain clip that works really well.
Yeah, I was actually going to go and order another holster through them.
Yeah, I need to. So go back and watch that episode where we interview Eclipse Holsters. We need to get them back on the podcast and kind of see an update because they've changed. So I keep seeing updates and like new patterns, and my wife's like, "Ooh, I like that. Can I get that?" I'm like, "No, because you don't have it for that gun." Yep. That's why we say we have one gun for the season, because we're wearing less stuff during the summer. So just t-shirt and shorts. That Glock 26 prints more, than the 43.
Yeah.
So even if I wear a slightly baggier shirt, not only to cover my fat, but just it's easier to do versus wintertime. I'm wearing jackets, hoodies, whatever. It's a lot easier to conceal a bigger gun. You can conceal a Glock 19 that way. So if you're able to have a different gun for the season, that's a route to go to.
Yeah.
And then capacity is another thing you need to think about. The smaller the gun, the less bullets you're going to have. And Joe Biden will appreciate that. However, you want to consider that, your proficiency with that gun, and
hopefully there's not more than one threat.
Do you have, and then also, do you have the ability to maybe carry a spare mag?
Yeah.
And a lot of people get, and I did this too, is I bought a snub nose revolver, the Smith & Wesson 642 lightweight, or I think it's called the airweight, but either way, 5 rounds, 38. It's an awesome gun. It is really easy to deep conceal that thing. I mean, you can put it in your pocket, basically. It's so light, so small. The problem with that is you're limited to 5 rounds.
Yep.
And because it's really small, I mean, you got to be super close. You're not going to be shooting somebody at a distance with that. So that's a more up close, maybe a backup gun. But if that's your primary gun, or you're thinking about having like a snub nose for a primary gun, you're got to think you're limited to 5 rounds.
Distance.
You could be the most, you could say, oh, I'm really good at reloading, with the moon clips or whatever. You could be really fast at that and whatever. Okay, great. But put yourself in that stressful situation.
Yeah,
you're gonna fuck up. You're not gonna be able to reload that thing.
You may be able
to. Yeah, you're not John Wick. You're maybe at the range you can do it real quick, no problem. But in a stressful situation, no, you're not going to. So you got to think about that. Is a revolver a good option for you or not?
Yeah, that'd be. I don't know. Like, I'd rather just have a magazine at that point.
Yes.
I mean, revolvers do have their place.
And I guess it depends on what state. If you're in a state with a magazine restriction, maybe that's kind of what you're limited to.
But if you're in the Midwest and we don't have that, then
have
fun. Have a Glock 33. Round magazine. Let's go. Everlasting clip or magazine.
Yeah. And the cool thing now is it's a lot different than, say, even 5 years ago now.
Yeah.
You have all these companies that are trying to make the smallest gun, but with more capacity.
Yeah, like the Hellcat Pro. That, like, what, it's almost a single stack in size, but it's actually a double stack.
Yes.
Which is crazy to think about.
The amount of options that you have nowadays for concealed carry gun is ridiculous, which is why it's better to go test one at a range, because most ranges, if you want to stay within a caliber, it's whatever. At our range, it's $15.
Yeah.
And you can shoot as many guns in that caliber. I think it's an additional 5 to change.
Yeah. But still, then all you're really doing is buying ammo. Okay, I really like this gun, then go buy it.
Yeah. If this is something you're going to rely your life on, take that investment to try some stuff out.
Yep.
Make sure that you like that gun before even buying it, because it sucks when you buy a gun, shoot it, hate it, and then you have to sell it at a loss.
Yeah.
So, yes, it's more expensive because you got to buy the ammo from the range. They're going to make you do that at the rentals, but that way you're getting what you want and feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
And can live with. But like the Springfield Hellcats are cool, like Chris said, because instead of having like what used to be the XDS, which was single stack, I've tried it. It felt good in my hand not shooting it, but when I was shooting it, didn't like the feeling at all. Shooting low left because I couldn't get enough grip on it. And now you have the Hellcat Pro that is thicker. It's not quite as thick as like a Glock 26, but it is technically a double stack. A lot more surface area for you to hold on to. A lot more capacity as well. And so just the options are out there, and they're basically the same size as like a XDS was. And it's just a little bit bigger, but it holds more rounds.
That and the grips on it are insane.
Yes.
I love that gun, and the one that's above you.
Yeah. Yep.
Those are probably, I think, the best grips on any gun you could buy.
Yeah. That one up there is my Glock 43 that I conceal carry.
Yeah.
I need to sell that for my Hellcat Pro. Just a lot of things to think about. And then not only all of that, I know a lot of states now have the constitutional carry, which is great.
Yeah.
However, I still recommend taking a concealed carry course because they're going to teach you legal things that you don't think about.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that you have to consider, especially depending on your state too. Are you in a stand your ground state or not? If not,
Yeah.
you're gonna
rethink some things.
You're gonna rethink things. If you're in a store and it's getting robbed, maybe just kind of stand back and don't do anything. If your life physically isn't in danger,
Yeah.
don't go shoot that bad guy. It's not your store. It's not your money.
Yeah.
Unless that guy is coming at you. So they give you a lot of things to think about. It's also nice to have concealed carry to cross state lines. A lot of people think, oh, Kansas is a constitutional carry. So is Missouri. I can cross state lines, concealed carry. You actually cannot.
Yeah, I think that's kind of blurred because people think, oh, Missouri recognizes Kansas law on concealed carry. So they're like, oh, I can constitutional carry there. I should be able to do there because they recognize Kansas law.
Only if you have a concealed carry permit or license. So,
Right.
so if you don't have a concealed carry permit, you can't cross state lines legally concealed carrying.
Legally.
Yeah. Now, if you have a concealed carry license, no problem, as long as that state that you're going to recognizes the state you're from's license, which Kansas, I mean, most states recognize it.
It's 32 states it's recognized by.
Yeah, all the free states do anyway. So I can carry concealed in that state. Some states are like, oh, well, if you conceal carry, and you're driving, you have to like separate the magazine, put it somewhere. You don't have to worry about that if you have your concealed carry license. Yeah. It's a lot more easier if you get pulled over by a cop and you're carrying. Hey, I got my concealed carry versus not. Definitely an easier conversation.
Yeah.
So, and the classes aren't expensive, and I think at our range it's $90.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at about a week or two ago, just as price, because I know each state is different, and then I read somewhere too, like some other states you can do majority of it online. So I was seeing like, okay, could I do the online course and then just go to the range and do that part? So
yeah, here in Kansas it's an 8-hour course, but I mean you learn a lot, and you get to spend the day talking about guns and you get to shoot. So what's the bad thing about it?
Yep.
So it's really cool, and you will see a lot of people that probably shouldn't have a gun because there's people that are like, oh wow.
Yeah, some of the questions they probably ask.
They don't know how to use it, or if during the shooting course, which is really easy, they struggle.
Yeah, I was wondering about that because I was reading like you got to do so many rounds from different ranges, but you're doing it one-handed.
Yes, but you're doing the one-handed pretty close.
Okay.
It's a big jug, is what the target is on the paper. And it doesn't. You can use any gun you want to.
That's what it said. You can bring any gun.
Yeah. So don't bring your
45
LCP 380 because you're going to be all over the board.
I heard a lot of people bring in like 22s.
Yep.
Because it's hardly any recoil. You get,
Bring a Glock 19, something bigger that you're more comfortable with, and then whatever. Something to consider.
Yeah, I know. I've been thinking about it. I've just been living the constitutional carry way.
Yep.
But I risked it for the biscuit when I go across state lines. But
I just did it because I cross state lines a lot for work. So.
Yeah.
And then I used to travel a lot for work as well. So I would go to states that were, or at least be sent to places that weren't very
friendly,
very good. And I'm like, man, I'm out of state. So yeah.
Yeah, better be safe. Mm-hmm. I just remember I was like, when I first started, just go find the smallest gun for concealed carry. And we already talked why we don't do that now. Ammo we've talked about.
Yep. You definitely want to do some sort of hollow point.
Yeah, I think right now how I've got mine, I got like half the magazine's hollow points, the other's regular standard round. Just because, hope to God, I don't have to go through a magazine.
If you're test out different ones, because there's so many out there now.
Yeah. Test
out different ones if you're unsure what you want to use. Yes, it's not cheap. It's about $25 if you're doing 9mm for like a 25 round box.
Yeah.
Not cheap, but then your gun can cycle that ammo.
Yep.
There's some guns that are picky on that hollow point ammo.
Oh, yeah. And Kembers are known to be real finicky on hollow points.
Yep. And then there's like, do you conceal carry a small 1911?
Yeah.
Up to you, but there's some things you got to consider with that as well. So just
that, and maybe think about, do you want a safety on your carry gun?
Yes.
Or don't you? Well, why not?
a lot of these guns come with the option to get one with a thumb safety and without.
Yep.
Here's why my personal opinion is without. Because yes, it may sound safe to have it safe on safe on there, but if you're in a stressful situation and you need to draw really quick and shoot like immediately, are you going to remember or able to flip that safety off? Are you going to remember did I have it on? Did I have it off? I can't remember. If you don't have that safety on there, you don't have to worry about that.
And then another thing you can think about, do you keep it chambered or not chambered?
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. A lot of people that don't carry with the round in the chamber are like, they don't want to do it for safety. And then you're thinking, oh, all you got to do is rack the slide.
Yeah.
Put yourself in a stressful situation. Let me know how well you're going to rack that slide.
Well, the only reason I think not carrying one in the chamber is if you got kids. And like if you do keep it in your car with you when you're on like a road trip or something, say you get out to pump gas and your kid gets out and unbuckles and goes through your center console, thinks it's a toy, and
well, that's when you need to have a discussion with your son.
It's true. People don't, but it happens out there. A lot of people keep stuff chambered and sometimes not even locked up, and their kids get a hold of it.
Yeah, that's just.
So I've tested my kid to see if he can even rack a slide back just to be safe, so I know. So.
But if you're not in that situation and you're just somebody that carries and maybe puts the gun away from your kid when you're home or whatever, I mean, having the gun in the holster, it generally covers the trigger guard anyway, so that's your safety. And then most guns at least have a trigger safety that you got to press that little thing on that little lever in front of the trigger. That's a safety. But like a Glock, it does not have the option for a thumb safety. I prefer that because, again, I'm not going to remember.
Yeah.
Is it safety on or not in a stressful situation? Somebody coming at me, I want to be ready to go.
I don't know. I don't usually keep one chambered.
Because everybody's like, again, are you going to be able to draw the gun, rack the slide? Hopefully you rack it good enough to where you don't have a malfunction.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's always that issue, like maybe you short stroke it or something and don't get around in the chamber or it gets stuck or something, then you're really fucked.
Yeah. I don't know. I just, peace of mind for me with kids. That's the only reason why I don't keep one chambered.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't carry with one chambered. It's up to you.
Yep.
You're not wrong in any situation. It's just you got to think
personal
about
preference, really.
What could happen.
Yep.
Are you going to be able to, or if like you're in a weird position and you have to draw, and maybe like you can't use this.
Yeah.
Do you have a way, or maybe practice a way to try and rack that slide one-handed?
Yeah.
Some guns have some slide cuts or even like extended sights to where you can just put it on like a hard surface or even your body and then rack it that way. So if you have that, awesome. But if not, you might have to think about the way you carry.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that really people probably don't think about.
Sweaty hands. I mean, your hands are going to be sweaty. Are you going to be able to grab that?
Yeah.
Luckily, with a revolver, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
You're there.
True. So would you want a striker fire or hammer fire?
Striker. I don't like hammer fired because I don't like that double
action
on the first pull.
But it would be nice though if all you do is pull the hammer back and you're ready to fire too.
Yes.
So that's another thing people can think about too.
Yeah.
So
there's quite a few guns out there that are hammer fired. So
like your 1911s. Mm-hmm. My first SIG, the P250 that I had was hammer fire.
Are you sure it wasn't the 360?
Yeah. SIG 365.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've not been a big. I know my Ruger LCP is a hammer fire, but I don't like it.
Yeah,
it's different.
It's different because that first, it's a safety feature kind of because you have that long trigger pull to be like, do I really want to? And then, I mean, I hate that because it's like, all right, where's it gonna break?
Yeah, where's the take up? There's a lot of take up. My SIG, that's the only thing I hated about that gun was that, but it was smooth as butter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I prefer striker fired, and that's something to try it out if you like the double action.
Yeah.
go with the double action gun.
Yep.
A lot of the smaller ones, like the car CM9 I had, I think it was like that.
Your revolver was a hidden hammer.
Yeah, it had a.
It had the like grooves, but it was so small you couldn't even really get.
Yeah, the 645, the 642 model I bought had a. I forgot what they call it, but it had a hammer that was
so small,
just exposed to where you could take your thumb and pull the hammer back. Some models don't, so you can't do that. You're double action only. This one had it. It's built for concealed carry, so they're thinking your hammer doesn't get caught on anything.
Yeah.
So
that's how my Ruger is. Like, you can't see the hammer at all unless you're like really paying attention to it, but you can't get a finger on it or anything.
Yeah. I mean, they have grooves on there, so it was really cool. I like that gun.
Yeah.
The other models, the ones with the full hammer exposed, that's fine. But you do have to consider where or how you're carrying. Is that hammer going to get in the way?
Yeah.
But, you know, that 642, some of those might be if you want to carry two guns, if you want to have a backup gun. I mean, a lot of people
Boot
do.
gun.
Like have it in your boot or on your ankle, and then you have, maybe a bigger gun on your person somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd rather have a gun with enough rounds in the magazine that I don't have to worry.
But say something happens to that gun, it gets jammed or whatever, toss that sucker aside.
Yeah.
Pull out the little.
I hope to God. If you got to bend over, I don't know if I could get back up if I had to bend over right now. Oh.
Yeah. And if you're wearing jeans, you got to pull up your jeans and grab that gun. But you never know.
Yeah.
I've tried to carry both the Glock 43 and Glock 26 with an ankle holster with my boots.
Yeah.
As Alien Gear makes it.
Yep.
Harder to get used to than you would think. Because walking, you're used to your feet weighing so much, but then you add weight to one foot
and not the other.
It sounds like it wouldn't be a big deal, but actually try it. Try putting weight on your ankle and then walking, and then it feels awkward.
You almost have to put an ankle weight on the other one just to even it out.
Yes, it's not natural.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of getting used to. You can get used to it. It just takes a minute. It's different.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that.
So I like it because in winter all the time I wear boots, so I have this ankle holster, and it sits like right on top of the boot, which is nice, but then you also kind of feel it. I wear bootcut jeans, so it doesn't print.
Yeah.
But it's just getting past that initial awkwardness of having that extra weight. And a Glock 26 fully loaded is not light by any means.
Yeah.
So it's a noticeable weight difference, and it's not natural and awkward. Try it. You'll find out.
Yeah. Nope. I'll just keep to appendix carry.
Yeah.
Or side holster.
I feel like I'm too fat for appendix carry.
I do.
I don't know.
I can't sit in a car and do it. But if I'm out and walking, I can do it.
I can't sit in a car and
side holster either.
I gotta take it out. And even if I like have it on my backside, I gotta take it off.
That's the way I am.
All right. So how did this whiskey? There's really not a whole lot of flavor to it.
No, it's not
on the rocks at all.
It got sweeter, and that's about it. Mm-hmm. The back end, there's nothing now.
So if you want a light flavored whiskey, not a whole lot going on. This is it. If it's an easy drinker,
that's very easy.
A little bit of sweetness going on, and that's really it. No spice, no burn, nothing. Yeah. Depending on your state, if unfortunately you live in an unfree state, you got to kind of consider if you're limited to 10 rounds, then that's going to really limit what gun you can get.
Yeah.
Most of us free states, you got all these options. Hell, you could get a Glock 26.
You still need to know
somehow figure out how to put this guy, the fun stick in there, and then you got, three rounds. I can't say 33 because of YouTube.
Twee.
Yeah, but you have a lot of rounds.
You have enough.
Pocket. So like have a Glock 26 carried, and if you got like a jacket in the winter, like a Carhartt, put that fun stick in your pocket.
Yeah.
You got plenty of rounds.
Yeah. For a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, YouTube doesn't like these
fun sticks.
Standard capacity magazines that are luckily being blocked by my shoulder.
Yeah. Interesting.
But let us know what you guys carry down in the comments, why you chose that gun.
Yeah.
What gun you wish you would have bought, I guess.
That, or what do you prefer to carry? Like appendix, side,
and
maybe why? Backpack, or do you like doing the old school like detectives with the straps and everything.
Not too many people wear blazers anymore, but I mean, hey,
Yeah.
kudos to you if you do
Yeah.
that. That's awesome.
Yep. So
I would if I could. But yeah.
zoot suit riots.
Yes. And speaking of the stuff behind us, if you like this kind of tactical wall setup and you want it for yourself, check out tacticalwalls.com. These are actually called the mod wall panels, and you can get them just the panels by themselves, or they come with kits that have certain setups, and they're super awesome. Obviously, you don't have to use it for a YouTube backdrop. If you got a gun room or a garage or somewhere where you want to have your guns displayed, or not even guns, like you can just do like your magazines and accessories, something like this. These are
They also have like
awesome.
ones for tools, so for a garage sake, it's
So they're the
awesome.
original ones that developed, like you'll see like the mirrors where you cut out like a hole in the wall,
Yeah.
and it looks like a mirror, but then if you have this magnetic key, the mirror slides, and then you have this cubby that you cut out in, and you hide your. They got them small enough for just handguns, but then you get the long ones for rifles or shotguns. Freaking awesome! Like I've wanted one of those forever, but I'm like, at this point, I don't know where I'd put it.
In the bathroom.
And then the shelves, the tactical shelves. So you have like a what looks like just a shelf with stuff on top of it, but put a magnet up there, comes down.
Yeah.
Bam, there's your guns.
Yeah, I've been looking at those a lot.
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff. So I'm working with my guy over there who helped me get these to get a coupon code. Hopefully that'll be set up soon. It'll be a BST10. So check out that website. Hopefully that'll be by the time this goes live. BST10, you'll get 10% off on their website. We get no cut of that. It's just something that you
Helps
guys
you.
get. Yeah, if support them, American made, freaking awesome. We're eventually going to be coming out with a video on how we installed these. I haven't had the time to put that together, but they're super easy as long as your stud finder's accurate.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it found me, but it couldn't find the wall stud. So I don't know what that tells you.
I don't know.
But I mean, they're not. I mean, they're not heavy, but they're not light. They're awkward to do by yourself. You definitely need two people.
Yeah, and the hardest part I think was really just figuring out where you wanted to hang everything.
Yeah.
That took hours.
Unfortunately, it's not center in the wall because why would there be a stud in the very center of the wall we can drill into? They give you all the screws that you need, so you don't need extra screws or anything like that. You just need a stud finder, a level, something to mark with, a drill. Comes with everything you need, and it tells you how many screws you need per panel. If you want to put more, feel free. It's just more stuff you got to patch up if you ever take them down. But super easy, and then the accessories that you can put up there are insane.
Endless.
Yeah, this is just some.
Yeah.
So freaking awesome. They're awesome. I love them. If you want to display your guns in your office, or if you have a gun room or a basement, or if you want to display stuff, whiskey bottles. I mean, got whiskey bottles up there too. So tacticalwalls.com. These are the mod wall panels. They got all sorts of stuff. Check them out. Hopefully it's BST10 will be a 10% off coupon here. I know they're doing a 4th of July sale just like everybody else. So definitely something to check out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I had for this week. Is I wanted to kind of just talk about some things to consider concealed carry that you might not think of.
Yeah, I think we did pretty good on covering things to think about.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more to go into if you're really, really new into guns.
Yeah,
there's a lot more stuff. There's other videos out there, but just in our experience, think about what you're wearing. That's going to be the main thing is what you're wearing. You may have to change the way you dress if you don't want to. That depends on what gun you get, how you're going to carry it. But I mean, trying to find a holster, you're never going to find the perfect holster.
No, it's hard.
Yeah, it is. And don't buy a cheap holster.
Yeah,
you're going to regret that because it's going to not be worth it. It's going to break or not feel comfortable. Spend the money on a good holster. Maybe have a couple different ones. But they're not good ones are not cheap. Check out Eclipse holsters for some of theirs, or if maybe if you want a leather one, or depending on how you want it, just make sure you spend the money on it because you get what you pay for.
Quality is everything,
especially with guns. You get what you pay for. You buy a cheap gun, like a High Point.
You get
what you pay for.
It's a good hammer.
Yeah. Hey, if you want to throw something at somebody and knock them out, high point. That's what it's for. If there's anything you guys want us to talk about, let us know down in the comments below. Any ideas? If you want to be on the show, reach out to us.
Yeah.
Anything.
Sounds good.
Let us know. If you hate this episode, just let us know.
Yeah. If we cuss too much, let us know.
Yeah. We had somebody mention that.
Yep.
But whatever.
We'll clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, Chris, Mr. I have kids, but I throw the F-bomb everywhere.
It's part of my vocabulary. I'm a veteran, okay?
He was a sailor, so he curses like a sailor.
Yep.
There you go.
Shows
another background.
There's actually a study that shows the people that actually cuss a lot have a higher intellect. Mm-hmm. So we're just showing our intellect.
There you go. He's going to have a motorcycle here soon.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about later. Well, Chris, what do you have to say?
Remember, this is a YouTube podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and tickle that bell. If you're listening on any other platforms such as Spotify, Apple Music, or any of that other stuff that you like to listen to this great podcast on, remember to follow us.
And if you want to sponsor us somehow, Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Reach out to us.
With that one, have a good one.